All right, this is TBI 3 Balls In. We are at it again. It's been a little bit of time since the three of us been together, but listen, I guess the heart grows fonder when you don't get together. So here we are, back and better for the Super Bowl edition, Super Sunday. Davo and Logan and PJs, let's do this. How are we doing, boys?
Still a little bit sore. I'm good. I'm still a little bit sore from that game last week, but I'm ready to go.
Davo, I think you've never looked better. You're looking great right now.
Thank
Logan,
you.
Look at this.
Oh, boy.
Not only does he have a background, but he's switching up in between. Davo, look at you. We really need to get this Davo on board. This is the Davo we love, and this is the Davo we always wanted. So this is it.
Logan, how was the beach?
Oh my God. I mean, unbelievable. Turks and Caicos is my first time there. Oh, we got a special visitor. I love that. Boom. Out.
Jules.
Turks and Caicos, my first time there. Highly recommend. It was fabulous, but it was bittersweet. Not being able to be on the field for either the first or the second game hurt. It hurt a lot.
All right, before we jump into those games now, right? All right, Super Bowl edition, Super Sunday. Really quickly, Logan, give me your prediction for tomorrow's game.
I think the Rams pull it out.
Davo? No, that's good. Davo?
That's good.
I was going to say the Rams, but I'm still going to say the Rams 34-23.
Of course, I picked the score.
Yeah. I'm also Rams. Also Rams all the way. To me, it's a no-brainer. But they're at home, better team.
Joe Burrow. It's hard to bet against Joe Burrow, but I hope the Rams pulled out.
Burrow's Marino, second year against not enough talent. All right. Anyways, no analysis here. Otherwise, we're going to tick some people off.
Speaking of not enough talent, let's get into this Vets Rooks games.
Oh, geez, you had to go there, didn't you?
I did.
All right, let's start off. The game that none of us played in, but we got to observe was the over 31, under 31 game. Singer, by the way, holy cow, does that guy fly in for a game and then fly out?
I still don't understand it. Like, did he literally fly in just for the game? Yeah, literally just the game.
He was away for the weekend at a family simcha. Flew back in Motzei Shabbos. His family was at the game in the minivan, ready to go back to JFK.
His whole family flew back.
His wife and his kids. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I guess she didn't trust that he'd make the flights. So she.
That's fair. But by the way, just when you thought you couldn't like a guy anymore,
I know,
right? Like, unbelievable. And
here's the thing: you put him on a team with Sam and E, which you got a solid line, Munch, and then you got Beast, Steve-O, and Stinger with your own. I mean, that was a really good team, but the team they went against was maybe a slightly better talented team. The under 31, you had, MK, you had Fight, you had, Bert. You had, again, you guys can help me out here. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but you had,
was Tabak there? I didn't remember.
Tabak was there, but I don't think Tabak wanted to be there afterwards. Tabak was there.
And then they had Prey also, right? Prey played.
They had Prey as well. And they had him definitely blanking on the guys right now. I feel bad, but
honestly, both look. I know we say it a lot, but both teams were stacked, and it was a game that, on paper, I mean, I think.
Oh, Zeta! How can I forget about Zeta?
How can you forget about Zeta?
Sorry, Zada.
Well, then that's how you forget about Zeta. You pronounce it that way. But how can you forget about Zada? But like, both teams were stacked, and honestly, and Jordan knows this. That was the game that I really wanted to be in. That was the game where I really wanted to spank some young kids. And that sounds way worse. It sounded better in my head than it did as it came out of my mouth. But,
by the way, maybe there's something about being hanging around me that it kind of runs off on you.
I think PG's is recruiting you to the Predators for next season.
Yeah, apparently. It was comments like that. I guess I deserve it. But that was the game that I really wanted to show some of the young kids what it's like to run around on a field. But, everyone held their own.
Dude, it's a 2-2 game. Right, it's a 2-2 game with the last drive, and your own goes in there. Unfortunately, we had some bad injuries. Munch, Steve-O, Singer had to leave, and then you had plug in, and Tom also got hurt. And you ended up plugging
Tom
in.
Had a season ending, which is brutal.
Yeah. Where Bop is going to feel that one, and then you had myself, Jordan, and Mighty jumped in to help out, and I got to be honest with you. I mean, That fourth down pass back in the end zone, mighty with like just mighty hands, makes the catch, comes down. To me, from my vantage point, David was on the other side. He was on the sidelines. From my vantage point, it looked like his toes were in, but he was called out, by the sideline. And it's hard to make that call. We don't have video replay. I'll to the grave, I'll say I think he's in. I think Yaron won, but unfortunately there was not enough of consensus to agree with that. And, Mighty himself wasn't super confident he got in. I think he felt like he was in, but he wasn't going to fight it.
Honestly, in that type of play, the receiver is the person with the worst point of view.
Exactly.
You're staring at the ball, you're trying to get your feet in, but you're not looking down. Like, no. It should be anyone but the receiver making that call. And I think that's why Mighty probably was hesitant to make it, because he knows he's got a bad angle, right? Like, he doesn't see when his toes and heels, you know what I mean? Like, he's looking at the ball as he should be.
It kind of reminded me of Santonio Holmes, and this again, Super Bowl special. Santonio Holmes, Packers, Cardinals, back in the end zone.
Yeah, Steelers, Cardinals, not Packers.
Sorry. Steelers, Cardinals. Thank you. Steelers, Cardinals, back in the end zone, toe tap in for the game winner. It had that, remnants of that kind of game. And unfortunately, he's called out, and it's a 2-2 tie. But I don't think you walk away from that game feeling like deflated for a tie, because that game was hard. It was a hard game to watch because it was freezing. It was freezing. I mean, Jordan and I were recording. It was a freezing game. The fact that, points were a premium in that game, the fact that they kept it as close and they kept it as competitive, you got to give a lot of credit to both teams.
Agreed. And by the way, a great table setter for the next game, right? Like, if that game would have been a blowout one way or the other, it might have taken a little of the air out of the second game. But like, the fact that it was so close, so hard fought, I think that made the intensity for the second game even higher.
Well, Dave, let's jump to the second game. We both played in it. Well, technically I played in it. Dave, you played in it. Let's talk about it. Down 3-0.
Let's not.
Hey, you're down 3-0.
Well, that was a great episode, everyone. Well, I hope everyone.
No. You're down 3-0 with Gronk. There was no way in my mind I thought we were losing that game. Even though we were down 3-0 with Gronk, I went into that huddle. I'm like, no, guys, we had the best quarterback and the best receiver. Let's do this.
Okay, so David's going to cause some controversy, and screw the Rooks. We really did lose that game because it shouldn't have even been close. We were sitting there back in the defense, and we're like, there's no reason they don't score every play. Our defense is kind of messed up right now. But we came back, and I'm a little bit proud of us. Mighty played a fantastic, maybe one of the best Mighty games I've ever seen. He was everywhere, catching everything. They couldn't stop him. Kut had a great game also. He had that big touchdown that made it 3-1. Ivry just missed his flag completely somehow, and he just took it to the house. But with Gronk, he doesn't like.
You're never out of it.
Yeah, he's not like I'm losing. We're over. He's like, all right, we're losing. I'm still gonna throw the same pass I was gonna throw before. But I really think the Rooks could have played better.
He didn't check out. Like, I played this on the bowl games with him this year. He could check out of a game. This was the game he did not check out in. I think because he knew who he was playing with. He knew he was playing around with guys who were vets, who were not going to let him, check out. I mean, he ended up he threw some terrible picks in that game, like a pick to Rook that had a terrible pass. He hit a terrible pass even to
Waldo. Twice.
Yeah, Waldo.
And Ernie. He got picked up by Ernie. But look, the Rooks had great players. Salem played great, and Prime played great, and Prey played great. They always do, but I think they really got noticed. But again, you had Ivry and you had Storm, and like you wouldn't even know that they were playing. Ivry might have had the tip at the end of the game.
That just tells you how well the other guys played, right? Like the fact that we're not talking about Ivry, who is, according to your chart, number one in the MVP voting or wherever he is there. Like we're not talking about, the other quote unquote usual suspects for the Rooks. Like, and again, not that Prime and Prey are not the usual suspects, but like you're talking about guys taking over a game, guys like Waldo, guys like Salem, guys stepping up their game. Not that the vets didn't step up their game. And like you said, Mighty had a fabulous game, but like these guys took it to the next level, and you got to give credit to the Rooks.
Guys,
I think we need a rematch. I think both teams will play better on a rematch, and it would be a better game.
maybe, but you had a 5-5 game, and this guy Waldo picks up 2 picks, and the walk-off. It was a walk-off, by the way. I personally was upset we played another drive because it was a last play. It was a walk-off touchdown for the Rooks.
Yeah, we also started a half hour late.
We did start a little bit late. We started 10 minutes late. It's true.
No,
but
we started at 10:04.
Okay, 20 minutes late. Okay, it was 20 minutes late, but also that game went into overtime, whatever. Anyways,
Yeah. No.
but Waldo, every tips a ball. Let's just talk about it. Every tips a ball, and the ball goes to Mighty. It's a little low to Mighty. Benzie somehow jumps over Mighty, picks it off, lands on his feet, and runs it into the end zone for a touchdown. I mean, I have not seen, and I was on the sideline for that play. I have not seen a player in Jewball. That was almost reminiscent of last year's Singer tipping the ball up on your own, like blitzing, tipping the ball up on your own in the game. And in I think our first snow game, and where he got the name Snow Pup. I mean, that was his signature moment last season for Singer. This was Benzie's Waldo signature moment in Jewball as a Rook. I mean, the play he played quarterback for the Cronies a few weeks ago. Listen,
his inner Big Ben.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. At this point right now, I don't care about any statistics you want to throw at me. How did we not give this kid Rookie of the Year? And I know I listen, you step up huge moments where you're needed and you step up the way you do. To me, that is clutch. That's the ultimate clutch player. Listen, he had a huge sack. I was blocking him for a lot of that game when I played offensive line. He made an unbelievable sack. I'm like, I don't understand how he got the sack. He was in the midst of my block. He dove and was able to grab a flag. I'm not making
long arms.
I'm not making myself out to be Munch or Solo or something that are better or or Cut. I'm just saying that like I was blocking him really well that game. The fact that he got that sack was incredible. Like you said before, Salem was great. The talent we mentioned and how much talent they had in that squad. You put up again. You have Jordan. You have Mighty. You have Rabin. You have Clink. You have Davo. You have myself. You have Kut. I mean, that's not an all-star team. Their team was an all-star team, you know? So the fact that we hung in the game like we did, made it a 5-5 game, you know, listen, we could have ended that game in a tie, and that would have honestly not been great for Jewball to have 2 ties in the game. We needed a definitive winner. I know this sounds really weird. I'm happy we had a definitive winner. I'm not happy I lost, but I'm happy we had a definitive winner.
Agreed.
With you. A tie would have been so deflating.
Oh, of course.
And also, hot take over here, even if we do like a all-star version of these games again, they won't be as good. They just won't be.
I agree with you on that.
Like, and again, maybe it would be nice to play it again, but it wouldn't be. I'm just telling, like,
because a rematch, we would really have like a chip on our shoulder.
Yeah,
I just don't think the games will be as good, and it won't be as like what because you win it'll be good. That doesn't make it good. It doesn't make it good football. Like it doesn't matter who wins this second game.
Sometimes you just like to spank little kids.
That's gonna have to be that'll be a new sticker, I'm sure.
Steve-O's already making it, but
Steve-O's already made it. Period. Like he already knows it happened.
Yeah, it's in reserve.
That's the Matrix right there. One thing I got to call people out for, there was way too many calls on Sunday. Like we have to cut back on these calls.
No, but both sides though, Davo. That's not just a once. It was both
sides.
No.
I didn't say what I said in general.
Yeah.
I get it. Like it's more of an intense game. People call fouls more.
Let me give Logan some context though. Sorry, Davo. Sorry to cut you off. Let me give Logan context. Cut makes a great play. It makes a great move on Prey. And he's he tries to grab a flag for a sack. Prey makes a move. Kut legit thought he got flag guarded, but he did not emphatically say I got flag guarded. He called it right away. Play continued. Play didn't stop.
What did he say right away?
He said, I got flag guarded.
Okay, so that should have ended the play right there.
But he didn't do the flag over his head like Jordan.
Yeah.
And
Right.
because he didn't do that, the play never stopped. And because Cook's not a guy, listen, he's not a guy.
Right. He's not going to be super vocal.
No, and he's not going to make a big deal out of it
Right.
because he didn't make and it kind of looked a little bit like maybe there was a flag guard just from my vantage point. And because he didn't emphatically make the call, it would end up sticking in going to a touchdown. I think that was Ernie's touchdown, right? On that play?
No, it was down at the 1.
Down at the 1. Right. Ernie thought he scored. He was down at the 1. So I'm saying like there's just an example where a guy didn't make a call, but it still became controversial in an argument for 2-3 minutes. You're right.
Well, by the way, you know what the problem is? The problem is that half call. And in general, that's like true with every game, right? It's the half call where like some people stop playing, not everyone stops playing. Like anytime someone's making a call, good or bad, and again, I think it should be never, but anytime someone's making a call, they need to start yelling from the top of whether they put their flag on top of their head or what, like let everyone know this play is stopping. We can play it again, but this play is stopping right here. Do you know what I mean? Like it needs to be, that's where we get into like that iffy ward, and that's really a bigger issue.
And then later in the game, Salem called the flag guard on Gronk, and I'll be honest with you, it did not look like a flag guard. Again, it's hard to be on the sidelines, make a call. I mean, I'm
really hard to tell.
But I mean, Gronk is literally, you know how Gronk plays. He's literally moving his body with his hands up in the air.
Right.
You know, he doesn't do that flag guard. He's literally just doing a 360.
No, he's moving around. By the way, everyone's got to understand there's a difference between me stiff arming and having to hit your hand and me putting my hand sliding down and blocking my actual flag. There's a difference, but whatever. Anyway, wrap the guy up.
And then Salem makes the call, and again, play sticks, and then it was the end of a drive there. So that was a 4th down. So it's again, these are tough. These are tough calls. I agree with Davo. Too many calls were made. We'll just give you examples of a few.
Right.
These are tough calls. But again, at the end of the day, I don't think anybody from a Jewball standpoint, right? Obviously, as an organization or whatever you want to call us, as a communal, a community, you should say. I mean, these are great games, right? Competitive games, no blowouts. You know, everyone played the hardest. I don't think there's anyone you look at and say he didn't play like Rabin. You know, Rabin, who did not play well online, did not contribute much for most of the game, ended up being the most clutch receiver for the Vets.
Really?
Down the stretch. I think he scored the game tying touchdown.
That's so good to hear.
Yeah, I mean, he made a couple clutch catches. Down I think on that drive and the drive before. So a couple first downs. So I mean, Rabin played well. And for most of that game, Rabin hadn't been doing much. So to see a guy like that get involved, I don't think anybody didn't play hard. So it was overall, if you're Jordan and you're the commissioner of the league, this is exactly what you signed up for. If you're Jordan and a Vet, you signed up for the win, not for the loss, but you signed up for hard-nosed football, exciting football, and just really, honestly, just an awesome game.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for, right? Like, all you want, you know? Like,
well, yeah. Well, guys, I think it's time we drop the huge surprise for the Jewball community. And since and there is big news in honor of
show's over.
3 balls in.
In honor of the fact we just had Vets Rooks, I think it was time for us to introduce someone who's been waiting a long time to communicate to all of us. And I'm going to stop right here and just let that person appear.
Great and powerful Oracle, we meet at last.
We are joined by the one and the only, the Oracle of Jewball. Welcome to 3 Balls In TBI, Oracle.
Great to be here.
Well, kind of start us off. I mean, based on everything we know, Jewball exists because of you. Talk us through the history of Jewball. How did it start? What did the game look like? And are you kind of surprised that the game is still around?
So we actually played it. It was me, I think David Savage, a couple other people played just 2-on-2, played in the YCQ playground. I think before cemented, after cemented, I don't even know anymore. But we played there for a little bit. And then, we got a couple more guys interested. And then we moved it to Flushing Meadow Park. We used to play softball during the spring and football during the fall and the winter. And, it would just be two-hand touch. We'd get different people every week, and everyone really wanted to play. It was funny. Sometimes you get some rookies, like real rookies who've never played before. And I get calls the next day from their mom or their dad asking me what the heck I did to these guys. Basically, these guys weren't in shape. And once they ran around for 2 hours, they couldn't move the next day. But it was fun. We played hard. We played to win, or at least I played to win. That's the only reason you play the game. So it was fun. It was something to do every day. The guys were friendly with each other. Of course, during competitive sports, you get into arguments, fights. There was no roughhousing, which was good. There were injuries, concussions, and not as much as you guys have there, because it's a different game today. But it was a lot of fun, and haven't played in a long time, but do miss it. Do miss the camaraderie of the guys.
So basically what you were saying before is that the vets basically laid the smackdown on the rooks all the time. That's what you're saying.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but it was competitive. I mean, we had respect for each other. I think towards the end of my career, the rookies who played kind of, I don't know how serious they were, but they were serious about hitting. And I don't know about winning as much as hitting. I guess that's why they lost.
Who are some Jewballers who, played during your time, and are you shocked that the game has continued and the fact that they're still playing?
So David Sokal played with us. Rabin played with us. Jordan played with us. That you guys would know. God, there's just the Stein boys, the three brothers there. A couple other Sokals played with us. We've had so many people, people who moved to Israel, like you guys, I'm sure had too. We have people all over the place playing with us, even coming in to play. I know you guys had, I think it was this weekend, a guy fly in from somewhere to play and then flew out again. That we wouldn't do, but that's pretty awesome. Hopefully he was on a winning team.
Well, that's Singer, and Singer is all about winning, and unfortunately it was a tie game, but Singer is the ultimate player and the ultimate teammate.
Right. But no, I mean, I never thought it would last this long, to get people. I know Jordan mentioned a long time ago, I used to call people. People used to leave voice messages on my phone, my machine, and go back and forth, try to get enough people for the game. So it was difficult because some people would cancel that morning, which I would never call them again. But to get people to come out every single day, every single Sunday is a great thing. Thanksgiving was great, were great games, but it continues to this day. Never would have thought.
Yeah,
That's
I think
amazing. And thanks to Jordan, from what I'm reading up, Jordan been keeping it together, and hopefully there's somebody after him. Eventually he has to retire. Hopefully there's somebody after him who just keeps it going.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that, did you ever think that, Jordan back in, what year was it, like 2000 or 2001, that he would end up taking over the commissionership?
No, I didn't know what would happen. I thought it would just fizzle out, and then that would be it. I never thought it would go on from there.
All right, well, let's jump into something now. You clearly follow the chat, which is kind of a surprise here. If I gave you a few names, do you think maybe you can, just based on what you've seen in the chat, kind of describe them?
I'll try. A lot of guys in the chat, but I'll try.
All right, let's start with Yaron. What do you know about Yaron?
So I think he's the quarterback for the teams there. He ran into some challenges not too long ago. We'll leave it at that. But he seems to be a good ball player.
Okay. Gronk.
I see the name a lot. I can't give you much on it, unfortunately.
Wow.
He's like a tough player, but I don't really know that much.
He's a quarterback as well. Maybe a potential MVP of the season.
Wow. That's a big miss. Okay.
All right, here we go. Here's another name. Let's give you Logan.
That I've seen a lot less than Gronk. It's hard to put the names with how do people play or to text him back and forth if I don't see him. So I'm gonna pass on that one. I don't know.
How about Munch?
Passing that one as well. I'm killing you guys.
No, it's all good. It's all good. All right, here's a good one. I think this one you might know better because he does chat a lot. Steve-O.
No. I know John John B. I forget his last name.
Oh yeah, Storm.
Seems like just I don't know what he looks like, what he does, but he looks like a pretty awesome player, tough-nosed guy.
Wow.
Hardcore.
Yeah, Storm is a good guy. Let's try this one. Mighty.
No, I don't follow the chat that much. So I'm not gonna get these.
So apparently, okay, the Oracle doesn't follow the chat as close as we thought or we hoped, but at least Yaron got some love and Storm. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
And, I like the Jordan updates, the recaps. A little long for me, but they're pretty good.
Did you recap back in the day?
No, I mean, no. There's no place to recap it, That's before computers.
That's great. That's true. All right.
No, but it was used to, the guys used to come back after the games and just, come back to, my house, used to not drinking beers, but Slurpees and everything else, even in the cold, and just have pizza and just hang out for a little bit, watch the football games afterwards. So it was a whole day affair.
Would you guys ever play tackle football in the snow?
We have.
Wow.
I love tackle football. I was one of the faster guys there. So when we played tackle, it was tremendous and nobody was catching me.
Wow.
It was just, I love tackle.
Did you happen to check out Vets vs. Rooks? Because this rookie class is pretty awesome.
It's like a really good class of rookies.
Well, veterans this week, so they got to be pretty good.
Oh, man. Don't remind us. us.
I sort of back and forth, but, it was a close game. So there's no one team better than another. Obviously, the rookies were better yesterday because they won. A win is a win. So great job by them. But as long as the games are close, then the competition is good, and it's great for the game.
All right, let's. Where does the Oracle see Jewball in 20 years from now?
How many kids did Jordan have?
I think he has just one boy and one girl. I think. Yeah. I hope I'm not
take over. I think because I see, I don't follow the chat that much, but I do remember there's intergenerational, there's fathers and sons playing. Could it be a grandfather and a grandson play possibly once? I don't remember that father and son for sure. So I think if the sons, take over, bring in their own people and start from there, that's really the way to extend it. And, the people playing right now, even though they might not want them to play, I think you bring them in slowly. And then from there, that's how it extends to, another 15, 20 years. So, but if it continues, I'll be on 20 years from now, right?
There we go. There we go. All right. Does the Oracle have a sort of a blessing for Jewball? Can we get a blessing from the Oracle?
Yeah, I mean, guys play hard. Don't go in to hurt each other because you want the guys to show up the next week, and enjoy the game. My career unfortunately cut short. I would have liked to play a lot longer, but enjoy every game you play. Almost play as if it is your last game. Play it hard, and always play to win.
Yeah. And we'll see you on the field one day, right?
I hope so. I was thinking about it this year. but didn't work out. Hopefully next year.
All right, there we go. It's on video. The Oracle,
That's right.
the Oracle is training for the 2022-23 season.
I better start now.
Oracle, amazing. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, guys, he
Wait.
literally,
Wait,
yeah, he literally told me that he's playing next season.
Nah, leagues, 2 fields.
someone check on Jordan. I think he may have just exploded. And you know what I mean.
You know exactly what you mean. Okay, I mean, if this really happens, guys, and the Oracle shows up next season, even for one game.
I mean, we were hoping for him to come down and just be there. Never mind play, right? We talked about him just showing up for a game.
I mean, he shows up to TBI, which is like just huge in itself. He's just so impressed with what has been going on here. It's a shame that neither one of you were there for the interview. Obviously, you're away and some other stuff came up, and it's all good. But I couldn't miss out on the opportunity to interview him.
No, you have to jump on that. That's
That was great.
wow. Wow.
If he does really come back, and he does, even if he's,
I feel like if he does come back, we'd have to play at Flushing Meadow Park.
No, no, way to kill Jewball.
Wait,
That'd be the last game of Jewball ever. It was
It's like a Seinfeld of Jewball.
so is he a vet or is he a rook?
Oh, Davo.
Oh, Davo.
Come on. Davo, way to you were doing so great this episode.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Davo.
Sorry, fine. I'm saying, like,
in Davo's head, he's probably both, right?
But think about where Jewball was. It was literally a 2-on-2. This guy played with 3 other guys, and that was Jewball.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be your own.
Even your own has more standards, but it's 1990, whatever, 91, 92.
Right. It's
Queens. Like, you're just desperate to get football in.
Yaron would play 2-on-2, pass it to himself, and still drop the ball.
I also think back then the only option you had for football, like real football, was Daigle and Israel. I think Daigle and Israel was
it around then in the 90s?
I think so. I feel like it was.
Well, I guess it had to have been because. Let's see. I was there like 2001, and it was already established as a thing. So it must have been there for at least 10 years.
And I was there, I think, the year after you were. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it was, or 2 years after you were. 2 years after, right?
It wasn't.
I was there with 3. Yeah, I mean, it was already around for a while. I'm assuming it was there, but either way, I mean, the fact that he again started with the 2-on-2 and then made it bigger, and the fact you have guys like Rabin and Jordan who've been there since since 99.
Jump Street.
Yeah, it's incredible. So the fact that at least for Jordan, 22 years later, the fact that Jewball is what it is. I mean, even Big E made a few appearances back in the day. So I mean, the fact that
not just what it is, that it's thriving. Like, you know what I mean? Like not just existing, it's getting better every year. It's great.
And the fact we could have potentially 6 teams next year. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, there's just
Crazy.
so much good here. All right, boys, this was our Super Bowl edition, Super Sunday. Hopefully we're eating poppers, eating wings, having some sausage from Kut, and whatever else Salem's got for us.
Looking forward to it. Can't wait.
All right, boys, what are we?
3 balls in.
And we are now 3 balls out. Peace.